Whereas Shalagadoola Mechikaboola equals X and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is Y. Put them together and what have you got? Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, X plus Y equals Y, X equals 0. The song is badly written. Second verse, X plus Y equals Bibbidi Bobbidi cubed plus the Boo. Shalagadoola Mechikaboola equals X and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo is Y. Put them together and what have you got? Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
Today I'm going to be talking about the equation of a circle and the inverse. So first I'm going to start with the equation of a circle. So I'm going to give the standard formula. So here is your radius, and here are what x and y is going to be. What you can tell from this is you can tell what the center of your the circle is going to be, because here it would be your h and your k, because the center is h and k. But when you put it in, it's always the opposite sign as this. So I'm going to give a formula, and then I'm going to tell you what the opposite is. Here's the equation. So your center was your h and your k. So if you know your center, it's the opposite sign. So the center is 1 and 2, because it's the opposite of what these two are. And then your radius was r squared, which is 3, because when you square 3, it's 9. So your radius is 3. So that's what you get out of these two by using your standard equation. But then there's times where it's not always the same, because it comes out to a more confusing because it's not in standard, so you have to put it in standard. So in that case, you could get a situation where it's x squared plus 4x plus y squared minus 6y equals 3. So here you have to first put the parts together. So you would do x squared plus 4x. And now you're going to be solving for a certain missing variable, which is here. So it's going to be plus, and then whatever this variable is. And then it's plus y squared minus 6y. And then you're going to do plus whatever's missing here equals this. So now what you have to find, in order to find these two, you have to do half of it, and then you square it. So for example, it's 2 squared, because that divided by 2, and then you divide this by 2, and that's 3, so it's plus 3 squared, but it's minus, so it's minus 3 squared, and then you add that to each side, so plus 2 squared plus minus 3 squared. From there, you know that this is 2, that was 3, so you just now got your perfect square trinomial, so it's x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals, and then when you solve that out, it's 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 9, which is 16. It's negative 3 times negative 3 comes out to 9, it's 2, so it's 16. So from here, you could tell that your center was remember the opposite of that. So it's -2. And the opposite of this sign is 3. And your radius is 4, because it's r squared, and 4 squared is 4, is 16 as well. So that's how you get that. And something to note, here you were given what your where the points were, but at a certain point you can know it's just on the origin. For example, if it's y squared, or if x squared plus y squared equals 16, you know that the origin is, that the circle starts on the origin, which is 0, 0. So then you know that immediately your center is 0, 0. So center is 0, 0. And then you know that your radius is r squared. So what's squared gets you 16 is 4. So your radius is 4. And that's how you find the standard, when it's not in the standard form, and then if it's on the center of the origin. Okay, we talk about now the inverse, which is the second part. So basically, the inverse says that your domain is going to be switched with your range, which is basically x is going to be switched with y. And from your function, you're going to find out what the inverse is. So, I'll start with this equation. Y equals 3x plus 6, and y is your function. So you're going to switch it, so you're going to bring this here, this here. So it's going to be x equals 3y plus 6, and you solve for your y, so it's 3y equals x, and then minus 6. And then y equals x minus 6 over 3, and you want to put that in the right form, so it's going to get y equals 1/3 x, and then this divided out is 2. So you're going to this is your inverse function, so you're gonna write that this is your inverse, just so you know the difference between the two. So that's your function that came out of it, and then this is what you originally had. So that's what you got, and this was a line, so you knew it passed the horizontal line test, which means the line didn't go through it twice, so you knew that the inverse was right. But then there's other situations where it doesn't work out, which is, for example, here, because when you graphed this originally, this equation, it really didn't pass the horizontal line because it went through it. So you know that it's not the function, the inverse is not a function, because first of all it didn't pass it, and then when you switch to 2, just switch to 2 here, y squared plus 4, and y squared equals x minus 4, and then y equals plus or minus square root of x minus 4. This is your inverse function. When you did this one, you knew it didn't pass the horizontal line test, so you knew immediately that it wasn't a function, whereas the other one up here, this one was a line, so it only went through it once, so it worked out fine. So that part. Alright, now we're going to confirm the part that we said we knew was a line, because it did pass the horizontal test, because just want to make sure we confirm it. So your original one was y equals 3x plus 6, and your inverse function, which is what comes out of that, was 1/3 x minus 2. Okay, so now the way to confirm that is to put your inverse function using your original, and then also you test it by using your original into your actual inverse, so basically what we said was this was 3x plus 6, and this is your inverse. So now you're doing the inverse part here. So it's 1/3. 1/3. And then this is 3x plus 6, so you put that into it. 3x plus 6. And then you do minus 2. So minus 2. So when you do this stuff, this cancels out to x. And then this cancels out to 2, so plus 2 minus 2. Then when you do it all, equals x. So you know that part is true. So then for this part, you're going to do your original equation, which was 3x. So it's 3, and then whatever your inverse function was, which is 1/3 x minus 2. And then you're going to do plus 6. So when you do all this, it comes out to x, and then minus 6, because times 2, and then plus 6, and then cross those out, and you get x, and then you know that since they both equal x, that it is a function, and then it passes the horizontal line test, and that overall it's a good inverse sometimes.